things just was getting bad because my respect as things are coming out, and then you still not really like. I still feel like I'm not being taken seriously. So that's when I take his phone, I throw it in the street, and then I try to run him over. I get to the jewelry place and find out it's fake. And like I'm in Atlanta now, so I'm like trying to like fill things out. I just got out of a relationship. I'm not getting in another relationship, dude. Just anything you touch is shining bright. Fake style, you got it like. From the hustle to the heart, she's been through it all. Empowering women, she's standing tall. So things just was getting bad because my respect as things are coming out, and then you still not really like. I still feel like I'm not being taken seriously. So things just was getting bad because my respect as things are coming out, and then you still not really like. I still feel like I'm not being taken seriously. I'm getting upset. So it wasn't even over him, so to speak. It was the principal because this girl that he knew before me, she lived in Queens as well, but he would be like giving her rides to work and back, right? I drove my own car. I didn't know that he was giving her rides back and forth. Now he knew her before me, but this was not discussed. So when I find out, and I don't remember exactly how I found out, but I tell him and her, I'm uncomfortable with that. I come from the same place. You need a ride, I can bring you. We're going to the same place. That doesn't make any sense, right? So her and I have a conversation, woman to woman. Listen, I understand y'all knew each other first. I'm in the picture now, and I am not comfortable. It doesn't make any sense. I live with him, basically. I can pick you up and bring you and drop you off. Why does that need to continue like he's a taxi? No need for that. So she claims she understood. And then one day we're in the club working.
So you started giving her a ride?
Yeah, I did. Okay. One day we're in the club working. She doesn't call me for a ride, and she doesn't tell me she needs a ride home. And something just did not feel right. I see her in the corner, like texting that she's on the phone, and my intuition was saying, that's him. So as I'm getting dressed in the mirror, I'm looking at her like, this better not be him, because if it is, I'm going to tear you up. That's how I'm looking, like, because now I feel like you playing with me. In the dressing room, you going to do that? You could have went in the bathroom, and I'm praying that it's not him, because I'm like, this girl is going to get ragged if it's him. So we leave the club. My homegirl's with me. I see her leave. She's walking around the corner from the club. I said, this is it. I drive around. I let her walk around the corner, then I drive around the corner, and it's him picking her up. So that's the time he came to the car. That's the time where I took his phone and threw it in the street. I was driving.
Oh,
you don't need to be picking nobody up.
Oh, you had your car. Okay.
Right.
All right.
So, now mind you, I have asked them before, have they had any dealings? Of course they're not going to say yeah, right? So, that's when I take his phone, I throw it in the street, and then I try to run him over. So my friend is like, girl, let's go before you go to jail. So I leave. I call her phone. Not yet. Not yet. Yeah. So I call him. I go sick on him, whatever. I ain't even bother with her because I already knew what time it was. The next day, nope, she ain't come the next day. She waited. The next week. She ain't come for a week. The next week she came to the club. I waited till the end of the night. I let her make her little money. Got my little money. And as we were leaving, on our way, I couldn't even wait till we got outside. We got in the door. And that was it. I tore that butt up. The security had to come get me off. And I was furious because I was just like, wow, like I really tried to handle it like an adult, like a woman. And security was like, when I was telling the story, like why I did that. And they kind of already had an idea because they know I'm new. Technically, I'm new to this. Like, they know him and they know her. They knew what time it was. And so when I told him the story, he was like, good for you. But the owner, the manager, had to suspend me because they can't have that. And she's been there long. She has seniority. She's been there longer than me. So I got suspended. I got suspended for 2 weeks. And he also told her to press charges on me. He did. My ex. So at that point, I was done. Like, I was like, boy, you're wildin'. So before that, though, because at that time, I had the key to the house. My stuff was still there. So I waited a little bit, and then I went there. And he had owed me some money. He was supposed to give me some money. He asked to borrow some money. He didn't give it back to me. So I went to the house while he was at work. And it wasn't a lot, probably like $400. And I took my stuff, and then I took some of his jewelry because I was going to go pawn it to get my money back. So I get to the jewelry place and find out it's fake. Now I'm really clowning him now. I'm really going in now. My mouth is just crazy, period. So I'm really going sick now. But yeah, after that, I went and one of my friends, I was also working at other clubs. So it wasn't that sick. I loved that club. I didn't want to be suspended from that club, but I had other options. I couldn't work with her. In these 2 weeks, my girlfriend moved to Atlanta. So she's like, come down here, check it out or whatever. So I go down and I get my license, get my permit to work at the club she's at, because you need a permit to work in Atlanta. So you have to do a background check. You fill out the application, and they see if you got any warrants, any criminal record, and then they give you a license, like a driver's license. Pay $300, and that's for specific counties. So you got to pay to work in every county. So, and you have to renew it every year. Yep. So I go. She's like, it's mad easy. I'm telling you, it's nothing. Da, da, da. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I get my license and I work, and I'm like, I like it here. Like, I like Atlanta. She's taking me around a little bit. The club was straight. She's living there at the time. And I'm like, I'm going to move. Just like that. I already got my license. I can work. I'm going to move. At this time. So I go back to New York and, oh wait, I got to go back. So before the incident happened with the girl, I had got hired in the mall, in Roosevelt Field Mall in New York, in Long Island, to work at Glamour Shots, which was a photography studio, doing hair and makeup. So I did that part-time. I needed to do something different. Like, at this point, I was like, okay, Tanya, like, you got to show this dude you are more. Like, I just felt like I was being disrespected and just not taken seriously because of what I was doing. Yeah, like, this is just what I'm doing. Like, I am destined for greatness. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was nothing, when I say this whole journey has been a mental, like, everything in it tried to tell me I wasn't going to be nothing. Like, I wasn't nothing. I wasn't nothing. Like, anybody I encountered, it was just like, yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm going to show you. So I went and got a part-time job. You know what I'm saying? It made me feel better. I was doing something regular, you know? And I was doing what I love. I was doing hair and makeup. It was fun. I only was there for 2 months, but it was fun. And he used to make a lot of runs at Roosevelt Film Mall. So he would drop me off and pick me up. But while I was in there and we were still just not doing well, I met another guy who was coming in, older guy. He was older than him. And yeah, low key, but broke. Crazy. I'll tell you how.
Like they all
New York is one big con.
facade.
I don't trust nobody from there. I'm telling you. So we get there. I meet him. One day, me and homeboy was just not. I met him. He was in there. He was trying to holler at me out in his fur, and I knew something was up. But we was talking. You know, we exchanged numbers and we started talking. He was going through a divorce, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to leave him. Because he would just pop up at the clubs. Every time we would break up, he would just pop up at the clubs. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna leave him without him popping up on me. And he's going through a divorce. So we end up just being mad cool. Like, we was being mad cool. And then when that incident happened with the girl and I finally got my things and left, that was the night that he pretended to be gone, but he was actually hiding behind the door. And that's when I pulled the knife out on him because he wanted to fight because I wanted to leave. That's when I was like, I cannot go back because one of us is not going to make it. So, but my friend that I met in Long Island, he had my back. Like, at the time I didn't have a car. Like, he would, he would give me hotels to stay so I can go to work. He gave me one of his cars to drive.
So he wasn't really broke.
He was. I mean, he had cars, but he owned them. He wasn't always broke. He had money. But the divorce, his wife took everything. Yeah, his wife took everything. So I used to hang out with him and his son. Like, we would go, like, during the day, we'd go eat and stuff. And he really didn't have the money. But let me tell you how he used to get the money. To take care of me, to help me out. He used to sleep with this big white lady, and we used to call her Cha-Ching because
She was paying.
yes. And he would use it to basically help me. I would bring him to meet with her and then pick him up. And then he would take me out to eat or get me a room. Yeah, that was my friend. Like, we did end up getting intimate at some point. But at first it was just like, that's my boy. Like, he holding me down right now. I'm in limbo and he's holding me down right now. So I go away to Atlanta. When I come back, I tell him that I'm moving to Atlanta. He's like, I'm coming with you. I'm like, no, you're not. Because he's liking me. Like, he's thinking we're gonna be together. Not like that. He old. Like, no, we're friends. He was funny as heck. We was cool, I swear. I love him to death. Like, that was my boy. But no. Like, no. So, but he did come down with me as I got established. So he let me borrow his Benz truck. I packed all my things in it and I drove to Atlanta by myself. And then he came down, he flew down. He drove his Range Rover down and met me and helped me, like, kind of just helped me get settled. And then he came back. He would come back and forth. He would come back and forth. He came back and forth quite a few times. He was still making sure I was straight. I kept it for a little while. We would swap. He would take the Benz and leave the Range Rover. Yeah. Yeah, he really was. He really was. That was my friend. He started getting too attached. And like I'm in Atlanta now. So I'm like trying to like fill things out. I just got out of a relationship. I'm not getting in another relationship, dude. And at the time, he didn't really have nowhere to go because his wife had put him out. He ain't got no house now. They're going back and forth to court. It's bad for him, which is one of the reasons why I let him come down frequently because you looked out for me while I was up there. So I didn't mind, you know what I'm saying? But now you cramping my style because I'm trying to like, I'm trying to chill. Yes. And he started getting in his feelings. So he tried to do a number on me. He came down one day because he knew I was talking to somebody. And he flew down and tried to take the car from me without me knowing. But I already had another friend, so my other friend let me use his truck to get around until I got one. And then he took his truck, and then my other friend took me to go buy a car. But it's a lot. Yeah, it was a lot going on. But yeah, that's how I ended up in Atlanta. I had to get away from my ex because it was getting bad. It was getting really bad. And I needed a change. I needed to do something different. You know, things weren't going the way I thought they were going to go. And I didn't see myself not dancing for a minute. Since things didn't go out the way that I thought they were going to go, now at this point, I really don't see myself getting out the game just yet. I just need to go somewhere where I can make more money and be more comfortable with doing what I'm doing. And Atlanta gave me that. Plus, still had me I still had that hope that I could, meet the right person and get put on. At the time, I need to get my money up and right. I need to get this money up and I need to meet, because my girl used to be like, oh, such and such come in the club, all these rap, everybody. Atlanta is, you get put on in the club. Future got put on in the club. Gucci Mane got put on in the club. Like they play their music in the strip club first to see how people respond. I met Future before he became big. I met Gucci Mane before he was big. I didn't even know who Gucci Mane was, and I was dancing for him. Wow. Yeah, like I got down there when Atlanta said, whoop. Wow. Yeah. So, I had a plan. I got down there in about, March? I went to visit in February, moved down in March. And then I got things set up. My other goal was to find a babysitter. There was a lady, there was a girl that worked at the club that I worked at, the first club I worked at down there. And her mom kept a lot of the dancers' kids. So I was introduced to her. I checked out the schools where I was at. And then September came and I went and got August. They go to school early. August came, I drove up, picked him up, bring him down, get him situated for school, and he was in school. I'm not easily scared. Like, I'll just try again. Like, and I'll just learn. I was alone. And when I moved to Atlanta, the girl who was down there, she ended up moving back to New York. So I was really by myself. That's what we did. Just move around. Yeah. She wasn't trying to convince you to come back with it? I wasn't going back anyway. I mean, like I said, in New York, at those clubs I was at, they were really racist. Like the clubs that I really liked were really racist. And to be around other beautiful Black women and feel like you fit in, like, I loved it. And I lost 20 pounds. I was like 120 something pounds when I went to Atlanta because I was so stressed out from New York. Like I like a lollipop. Like I've never been that small ever. And so when I got there, at first I was like, oh my, I'm not going to make no money. Like I am a twig compared to these girls. But I quickly gained my weight back. I was comfortable. I was happy. I was eating. Yeah, I gained my weight back really fast. Yeah. So it was a big step. It was a big like who just ups and goes
And no connection.
and with no
You never heard from the industry boo in New York
yeah.
ever again?
Hmm.
No? You did.
Yep. He bothered me quite a bit
How? Like,
through phone. So he texts and stuff, and I'm the type of person like I don't mind you stalking me as I move because I don't care if you watch me do what I do. Like matter of fact, watch me. Like what you cause you thought,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, but I'm about to show you type of thing. So for a period of time he was still texting because he didn't think I was gonna leave either. And then we lost contact for good for a while. And then he ends up coming down to Atlanta. He moved with his aunt. And at this time, I'm over it. Like I'm completely over it. Like there's no we're past that. It was months. We're past that. You know what I mean? Like there was no feelings there for me at all. And he wanted to see me. So we went out to eat. And he was like this. He looked horrible. Yep, I did. I just because I wasn't scared and I was over him and I wanted him to see how I was doing.
She was standing out here.
I wanted him to see how I was doing. That's it. So I got all cute, because that's what you do in Atlanta anyway. And I met him.
So how did dinner go?
It was fine.
Okay.
He was just reminiscing and he was, oh, I miss you. Yeah, I'm like, that's nice. He was looking crazy.
Like
I was
crackhead.
like, crackhead crazy. I said,
Wow.
mm-hmm.
So from dinner, didn't hear from him again?
We became cool. We was cool.
Dating cool?
No, we didn't
Okay.
date, but we were cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I seen him every so often. It wasn't a lot. He would pop up at the club or I did end up going to his aunt's house where he was at. Um, he let me use his truck one time. I didn't have a car, and he let me use his truck, so I went to his aunt's house for that reason. But we were actually cordial. Like we were cool. There was no beef. There was no, whenever he had a second, he would tell me how much he missed me and stuff like that. But I was so over it. I was so over it. But we actually became okay. And he ended up going back to New York because his father, I think, had gotten really sick. But he left me with the van. So that I can get. This is when now I'm going to school. I'm going to cosmetology school, and he left me with the van so I can get back and forth to school. So we kept in contact here and there for a while, in and out. We weren't friends we ain't talked for years, and then he'll pop up out of nowhere. But ultimately, later on, we had gotten back in contact with each other, and he looked out for me. So I don't know what's going on with him now. But New York, the crazy one, he did reach out to me a few years ago because my number's been the same. And he called my number, my cell phone, and I answer. And I'm like, well, this has been a long time. So I'm like, oh, maybe he's just checking on me. Because some of his people follow me on social media. So maybe he's just like, her number's still the same. Let me just see how she's doing. So I have small talk with him, like he's like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm good. I hear him slurring his words. So I'm like, oh, okay. He must have been sitting around drinking and just thought of me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm about to get married. So I was about to get married to Charlie. So I'm about to get married. Yeah, I got 2 kids, whatever. So he's like, oh, really? Oh, okay. And then he says something crazy. He started talking about us. And I was like, yeah, no, I gotta go. So I'm like, I gotta go. And then he calls right back. So I don't answer. And then he calls right back. And this time I have one of my stylists answer the phone, only one touch. And he goes, He don't say nothing. And then he's like, Tanya there? And she's like, Tanya's busy. And he's like, oh, word? Okay. So he waits about maybe 20 minutes and he calls back again. And she answered the phone again. I said, give me the phone. I said, what, you all right? Like, what's wrong with you? And now he starts talking junk like he used to back then. So I'm like, yeah, he's definitely drunk. So now you can't call me. So I hang up the phone, and I don't know if I blocked him right away, but he ended up calling while I was in the bed with Charlie. And I think that I don't know if I didn't answer, but I ended up telling Charlie what was going on. He was a little frustrated, but I'm like, listen, my number been the same forever. And it's been so long, I thought maybe he was just trying to see how things were going. Ain't no harm in that. But he was clearly still a psycho. So, you know, he used to tell me somebody gonna kill me one day. Like, he used to like really like, I thought he was gonna try. And then there was other stuff. I was protected because one of his friends was a bouncer at another nightclub downtown. And he lived across the street from him. And like, if he couldn't get home in time enough to take me to work, his friend would take me. And he kind of was flirting with me a little bit. I wasn't paying no mind. But he ends up, it was a big story in New York, big story. He ends up getting picked up for murder. Some white girl in Midtown where he was a bouncer. And I'm talking about detectives. They was coming over to the house talking to Ty. Like, it was crazy. Like, it was like, what? Your friend's a murderer? And then come to find out, when he called me this last time, and I asked him about his other friend, and when I said I was trying to do the whole pimping thing, he tells me that he's in jail for murder. So I'm like, so y'all was just a bunch of murderers. So I was definitely protected because that was just too ironic. Like, you know what I mean? And the way then I found out he had MS. He was hiding his medication in a little cabinet thingy that didn't look like a freaking wall. Like, I mean, it looked like a wall. And he was hiding his medication in there. So I found out he was sick. So, and then he drank a lot. So I don't know what he could have done. He could have snapped. So I had to go. And my friend that I met in Long Island helped me escape. Pretty much everything's there now. My son, I'm there. Like, I'm building. It's life in Atlanta.
Just only thing you touch is shining bright. Fake fair and style, shit you got it like. From the hustle to the heart, she's been through it all. Empowering women, she's standing tall. Her journey's real, her story's true. It's on you, D.Jackson.